Welcome, friends, to I Am Woke. I am your host, Emelina. Hello. Okay, in this video, I'm going to take you through an energy update for May. What are we at, by the way? I don't know. May 12th. We'll cover the last couple hours of the day, all right? May 12th to May 19th. All right. Kickstarting this with a copal sage clearing because God knows we need it, okay? Clear, 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 clear. Clear, 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 clear. Okay, all the bad vibes are gone. It's gone. Welcome, sweethearts. I'm happy you're here with me. All of you watching now, thank you. Enjoy. Those of you that come back later, thank you. I adore all of you. Okay, so if you're new, go hit that subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss any energy updates. My name is Emelina Calder. I am a spiritual high performance coach, a spiritual mentor, a psychic medium, a shaman, and a personal branding coach. All right, and I'm here to help you step into the highest version of yourself, step into your most authentic, radiant states of being. I don't know how else to say, become the best version of yourself, right? Like, just magnetize your highest timelines. That's been such a trending phrase for a minute now. Magnetize your highest timelines. Here's the trick. The timelines that are the highest are available all of the time. It just depends on like what choices you're making and how you tap into your states of awareness, so that you're open to like really expansive new possibilities and potential realities all the time. All the time. All right, what else do I want to say? I want to remind you guys, if you don't know yet, I have a free 8-part video Akashic Records training that everyone loves and is like really enjoying. So I left a link in the description below. It's immemelina.com/training. If you're new to the Akashic Records, they are the blueprint of the soul. They are the access of your own, you access them through a meditation practice. It's pretty easy. It does take practice, but you can start accessing your own Akashic Records very quickly. And I'll take you through the videos in the training to show you how to do that. And I think you guys will really enjoy that. I know you will. So go grab that. I'm also like as grounded as I am, and I did just pre-meditate, and I'm still just a little, it's a thing, okay? It's a vibe. Anyway, I also wanted to remind you guys too, share with you guys, if you want to jump in on the Sacred Prayers pre-enrollment, pre-launch, and jump on the wait list. For those of you that don't know, I know a lot of you guys do and are anticipating these. This is the Sacred Prayers Oracle card deck prototype. I am designing it. I'm getting a little community up in my dashboard for you guys, and we're going to pre-launch it, and I'm going to show you guys and bring you along the way to designing something between 50 and 78 cards that are all channeled from my guide. So really stoked about it. I'm going to be using these in my reading today as well. If you're interested in that, just go jump on the wait list. That is in the description link below. It is immemelina.com/Oracle waitlist. Okay, and I'll quickly jump in the comments, and then I'll probably jump in more at the end. But hello, hi you guys, hi Jonathan, hi Amy, hi Christine. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Like my heart is open. Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate that you appreciate me. God, you know, living my whole life the way that I am. And I'm gonna tell a little story. But it is really, it doesn't get old being seen. That's what I'll say. Like being seen for who you are authentically. So, I mean, every time you guys say things like this to me, I'm just like, ugh, it just hits. I accept it. I receive it. And yeah, I don't know. I was talking to, I met another female shaman last night in a group. And I wasn't going to say that I was a spiritual coach because you never know what the temperature of a group is like, you know, normal people and normies, muggles. But anyway, I was like, whatever, I'll just say, I was like, I'm a spiritual coach, I'm a divine channel, I'm a psychic medium. And then we like went around the room, and then she was like, oh, yours inspired me to say, I'm a shaman and a microdose coach. And I was like, oh, and then we were talking and we were like, it's just like, so, I don't know. It's so interesting. When shamans meet other shamans, it's generally like, oh, I get you. Okay, cool. Like, so I don't know. All that to say, thank you. Thank you for seeing me. It truly never gets old. I will always appreciate it. And, I don't know. That's where I got for the moment. I'm so happy you enjoy the videos. And I've learned so much, soulmates and twin flames. Oh, I'm glad. I got more in the pipeline for that. I've got lots of things to say. I've got all the things to say. On soulmate relationships. Okay. I'm going to jump in. I don't know exactly what I'm going to channel yet. The Law of One just asked me to show up. They were like, we'll figure it out when you get here. I was like, okay. If you're wondering how spirit works, sometimes that's how spirit works. I set the intention. I did a full grounding ritual, cleared all of my energy up to 12D. Thank you to one of my other shaman buddies for sharing that meditation with me. And now I'm just going to tap in and hang out for a minute. Those of you that are new, I channel the Law of One. I channel the Akashic Records. I channel Divine Mother and Divine Father. I channel my higher avatar self. That's generally the vibe. All of that can be grouped into source consciousness. And I'm just going to take you guys through a little journey of what we can expect for this week. Maybe what to look out for, what to enjoy, what to shift and transform. All right. All right, we're talking spirit talk now. Sometimes they really do give me just like funny phrases and then I have to unpack them. So here's the funny phrase. They said theme number 1 is don't be mean. What does don't be mean mean? It means, flow it through you guys. It means being ultra kind to yourself. Which tells me that we're on like a timeline of higher judgment is what's coming through. So it's almost like all of the aspects of yourself that you've been thinking about, contemplating, vibing with, mulling over, like just like chewing maybe for a while, a long time, are coming due. Like decisions need to be made. Like you're at a judge. They're showing me a line, like you're walking a line and you're at judgment, which just means that decisions need to be made. Like enough mulling over whatever. It's literally like as you're walking this line, and this isn't one decision. This is like, they're showing me many decisions. One foot in front of the other. Don't be scared. Don't be intimidated. The decisions from a different frame of mind would be intimidating. And it's like, just understanding that they're literally saying to me, walking the line, and they're showing me is that the Johnny Cash album? Is that right? Someone can let me know. Walk the Line? Is that right? Okay, so they're showing me that album. That is a message for someone. Maybe go listen to that song. But they're showing just one foot in front of the other. Like focus on next step, next step, next step. Like you are literally, it is spiritually up to you to stay on target and to maintain your they're showing me posture, composure, which is telling me to maintain your balance. And what they're feeding through with me right now is I'm very, typically, spiritually, I'm very good at walking a center line without swinging too much in either direction. And what they're showing is if you start to feel emotionally or mentally out of balance, slow down. Get into some level of stillness, whether that's a meditation, whether that is getting up and doing your dishes because it's just easier to zone out that way. Zone out is in like meditation, like just slow, pull it back down, pull yourself into your body, do some movement, go for a walk, maybe do some yoga, whatever's going to slow you down. Because what they're telling me is, in the mind, what humans typically do is when they feel out of balance, they start sprinting. But if you're out of balance, they're showing it to me like you're drunk. If you're out of balance, if you're out of balance, you are emotionally inebriated. So if you try to sprint, when you're not emotionally balanced, it's just gonna be like, they're gonna have me, okay, fine, we'll do it. It's just gonna be like, like, it's just gonna be a mess. So, whenever you are feeling yourself in a state that is not where you make balanced decisions, like if you wouldn't wire someone $10,000 in that state, maybe don't make any other critical decisions. Like that is literally what they just said to me. And what they're showing me too is that a lot of people are making critical decisions from the point of being emotionally inebriated. So it's like, can you guys explain that to me? I know what that feels like, but how do I explain that? They're saying emotional cocktail. Keep going. It's not that they're inebriated, it's that they're weighted too heavily in one emotional direction that's out of balance with their center. And if you invest in any decision or any action in a direction that is off of your center, it will further the gap and create more momentum that will be off your center. So then in order for you to get back to center, which is going to have to happen later, it's going to feel like a big lift or a big shift. And the results of those actions will come back to you in a way where you'll feel like you're getting knocked off balance. That sounds gentle, but I don't think they're really communicating it in a gentle way. This isn't like, toe in the water, toe in the water. That's like not what this vibe is, okay? This is like we're talking big ass fucking quantum leaps. All right, like you're changing your life overnight, and you're changing your life overnight, and you're changing your life overnight, whatever that means for you. These are decisions that you've probably been sitting on, waiting on, throwing on back burner, waiting for spirit to take charge, take over, show you the new direction. I'm literally seeing like dozens. I'm going to tune into this a little bit more. And for you guys to know as well, like sometimes spirit comes through with really auditory information for me recently, which I've been told by like 3 other shamans that it's the solar flares. It's almost tough for me to speak. Like I literally have been telling everyone, I'm like, I hope you're getting me telepathically because I can't speak right now. So anyway, that's my caveat to say I'm going to tune in and try to unpack exactly how they're they're showing the energy, because they're showing to me like lots of flickering lights, but each of those lights is a decision that needs to be made. Oh, here we go. This is how I'll describe it. Okay. Each of the lights that they're showing me, there's like a couple dozen in your fields, is a decision that needs to be made, a critical decision that needs to be made. And when they're up, they're like, right now they're like up in the air in your fields because you haven't grounded them and like brought them home. And the reason why that is an issue, and I'm going to put it in quotes because it's really just like part of the process that's happening right now. But the reason why it's an issue is because it's fragmenting your attention in a way that is not just purely mental. So when you have that many tossed up like things, like decisions that carry a lot of weight or circumstance, which are decisions that are like life-changing, they're life-changing decisions. There's no like gentle way of saying that. There are these are all decisions that will change the course of what timelines you're entering, how you're navigating, because you're grounding. Again, they're showing me these like lights or orbs. You're grounding what is carrying a lot of spiritual momentum. So we could call these manifestations perhaps as well. While they're up in the air, they're requiring a lot of attention, a lot of conscious awareness, a lot of subconscious awareness, which is diverting you from the moment. Now, I wouldn't say typically that's always a problem, because they're actually showing it to me like that's just like the manifestation process energetically. It's really that they're showing me that the collective we have way too many active manifestations running in our fields, so that as we're walking forward down our balanced beam line, into our highest states of reality, are magnetizing our highest timelines, it's like we can't access our we can't. You're going to struggle manifesting if you don't ground some of the things that have got a lot of your waking and sleeping attention. They're showing it to me like a soul fragment, but it's not negative in that way, but that's how it's being shown to me. So when we are creating, this is very new for me to explain it this way, by the way. This is literally like, thanks, channel. When we are creating manifestations, when we're let me think about how to word this again. Thanks, you guys, for being patient with my little process here. It's out. Okay, so they're showing it to me like it's out of balance. There's like 80% attention in the energetics in whatever you've been visualizing, fantasizing, creating mentally. Every time you do it mentally, you create this vision of your life, whatever it's going to be in many different areas. You create a deposit of yourself to that place. All right? That place is like a timestamp or a time code of reality where you're able to access that manifestation or that timeline. Now, what they're showing me is that when you think about something a lot, or you're moving a lot of your awareness into it, and this could be over long periods of time, you guys. These could be dreams that you've been sitting on. They could be this isn't like last month. This is like to deposit this much energetic momentum. Like, they're actually telling me it could take lifetimes. So some of you are doing some real like karmic, positive karmic completion. And from some like past life selves. So they build a lot of spiritual momentum, which truly is wonderful. Like, it's really, really, really great. You want these things to build spiritual momentum. But the thing is that they're showing me there are too many of them. Not too many. Like, Spirit's not like bad you. Spirit's more like, you got to start getting some of this stuff into your reality. Because if you don't, you're just going to float away and be top heavy, and you're not going to be able to, like, I don't know, focus on whatever needs to be done today and tomorrow. Like, you'll float off into some weird space-time continuum where you just won't be able to human. Like, you won't be able to like practically get some things done that actually need to be done down here. So it's about grounding as many of those, I'm going to call them spiritual manifestation orbs, into your reality one step at a time, lining them up like once one decision's made, then it's like working on the next decision, and then the next decision, and then the next decision, and move. I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. This is kind of making me feel overwhelmed, if I'm going to be honest. But they're telling me move as many of the open projections of things that you've been creating or outcomes into reality as quickly as you can. Not with haste, not with hurry. That's why they were saying slow down if you start to feel out of balance, because you have to be balanced when you make these moves, because these manifestations are carrying so much spiritual mass, right? Like momentum, that if you try to ground them or manifest them from a place of being emotionally out of balance, it's gonna like boomerang, hit something, and come back and hit you in the head. Like, it's just, that's how they're showing it to me. It's not, it needs to be finessed, okay? And that finesse is when you are grounding things into your reality, make sure you are emotionally balanced. If you are not emotionally balanced, go get emotionally balanced. Do you guys need suggestions? Should I give you some suggestions? Emotional balance would be anything that would give you joy in the moment. That joy comes on a really large scale. So it doesn't have to be like, joy. Like, it could literally just be like, okay, joy. Like, all right. So when you're emotionally out of balance, just pull your energy back into yourself, into your core, and just say to yourself, what would make me feel good right now? What's like one thing that I could do that would allow me to feel even just slightly more balanced in myself? That could be calling a friend, that could be going for a walk, going in nature, that could be meditating, it could be something like doing the dishes. You know, meditation is single-minded focus. You can do single-minded focus with just about anything. It's really about disengaging your mind and being able to create stillness in the heart space so that your heart feels like it's free to, I don't know how to describe this. No, I don't want to say expand because it's not expand. It's like it's free to rest. It's free to sit still, but not still from a rigid place. It's not like still. It's like still. Relief, maybe, would be a good word. The flow state. Lizzie, thank you. Yeah, this is all accessing flow state. So it's like, it's being able to bring yourself back into balance in whatever way would help you with that. Another thing you guys can look up that's helpful is EFT, emotional freedom technique, where you hit the karate chop point. Just look up a video on YouTube. I'm not going to take you through the whole thing right now because I'm not feeling it. They're not feeling it. But that's something that's really great as well. Writing down some mantras, journaling, anything that is movement oriented, even just allowing your face to sit in the sun and absorb the downloads from the sun, that could be emotionally balancing. Scents can be emotionally balancing. They're showing me like maybe literally just smelling some different perfumes, burning some sage or copal or something like that. So that's the scoop there. Now let me go back in. What do you guys, is there anything else around these manifestation orbs that are moving into place? They're big decisions. You guys, okay, so you guys need to start making your big decisions, things that you've been putting off. They're just showing me it's at a critical mass point. So it means that if you don't make a decision will be made. Oh, that's the judgment line. Okay, if you don't make a decision will be made for you on the things that you've been trying to create, on the lifestyle that you've been looking to embrace. When they say that the decisions will be made for you, inaction is a decision. And that's something you guys really need to hear. So I'm going to say it again because they're not going to be over the head with it. Inaction is a decision. The passivity or blatant refusal to ground something that you've been looking to access into your reality is a decision to not have it. So spirit and the law of karma and all the other laws of the universe are not happy, like they're really impartial, but they're like, oh, like you either want it or you don't. You didn't take action, you're going to be passive. Well, it's built up a lot of momentum. So there's a critical mass. So there's a point where when the momentum becomes so large spiritually, it can't sit anymore. It has to move. It's going to move. Like this is the laws of physics. So if you don't choose to move it and to ground it in reality in a really balanced way, it's going to move itself. And you might not like the results. All right. They're feeding this with a warning. Now, it doesn't mean to move with haste. Again, it's really, really important that you are not like shoving, I don't know, decisions into your life. That's not what it's about. It's not like the fastest amount of decisions wins. That's not it. It is the most secure amount of balanced, concrete, brought into reality, like decisions are what is going to win. And there are so many that one decision needs to be made after the next. Once you're done with one, take a breather, and then like the next day, you're going to tackle another big decision. Typically, that would throw people in the land of existential crisis. So I'm going to ask them, that's a lot. It's a lot of energy to move. They're telling me it's a lot of energy to not move. Okay, good point. Good point. Without you. Oh my gosh. Telepathy, okay, you guys, telepathy. My brain is like working a fraction of what it normally is. We'll just thank the solar waves. Okay, so I'll swing back. Let's see. What else do you guys want to say about these orbs? It's a lot to not move them. So just because the energy is invisible doesn't mean it's not wreaking havoc on you. It doesn't mean it's not moving you. When you're not choosing to bring something into this world, it is choosing you. You know, the ideas that we've selected, the things that we want to create are alive. They carry momentum, they carry energy, they carry like an energy that we deposit and also an energy of their own. And that grows and develops. They're showing me like a fetus, like that's just kind of how source works and manifests energetically. So when we're not paying attention to it and bringing it into this world in whatever way we can, which is just whatever the next right step is, it's not, you don't have to try to eat the whole cake, okay? Like, I don't know why they're giving me that reference, but it's literally like, just like whatever bite fits in your mouth, okay? Like, you are not here to eat the whole fucking cake. Like, not yet, all right? Not yet. Like, the whole cake is yours. You're gonna enjoy it. But just like take off what you can chew, not more. That is for each project that you're gonna be landing into your reality. And now they threw a pin in something, so hold on, let me come back to. The soul fragments. Oh, the fetus. Oh, the fetus. Okay, so like there's the creative projects, the creative energy, like if you don't make the choice to land them, taking one bite, whatever it's going to be to bring it into reality. For you guys to have a concrete example for this deck that I'm designing, like this is a good example. It's like, what's the next step? I'm like, well, I'm not ready to publish the whole thing, right? Like it's not done. It's not even close to done. So the next step for me was getting the pre-launch. And then think about breaking down your tasks like this. So it's like, okay, so I'm pre-launching the deck. And then it's like, okay, well, what's the next task? It's like, well, I got to build out the community component. Well, I got to build out a cart page. Well, I have to build out a landing page. Well, I have to start, I don't know what you call it. Like my waitlist page is like is another version of a landing page. It's like, okay, so instead of thinking about your creative projects, these like fetuses that live up there somewhere, as like, I have to do the whole thing and birth this whole thing into the world right now, because that's really actually kind of unmanageable. It's understanding that it's there and it wants to be birthed. It wants to be brought through into real life. So it's like, what's the next step? Well, in a project like this, it's like, well, the next step is telling you guys, yo, I'm creating this. Then the next step is like, making the waitlist page and then a cart page and then a community. And you know, you follow the steps and you might want to create, they're showing me like a long list or like a document, almost like an Excel sheet where you outline the project that you're working on. And these are for any of your manifestations. Okay. Some of you buying a home, changing careers, changing jobs, adding to your careers, adding new services into your current work for those of you that are self-employed. It's almost like have a creative project Excel sheet where you have your manifestation. So the thing that you've been reaching for, and then underneath it, like whatever the next steps are that you can just think of on your mind, and then the next manifestation, and then like next steps. And by next steps, I truly mean next steps. I don't mean like, I don't know, I can't even think to reference it, but I don't mean steps that are in like way in the future. I mean like literally like what can be done today? What can be done tomorrow? Doesn't mean it will be done today or tomorrow. You're making your list so that when you're wandering around in your head like, I don't know what to do, to some level of like, they're saying spiritual depletion, but it's almost like when you feel like you don't have enough life purpose in what you're doing or what you're living down here on earth as humans. It's like reach into this, what they're showing me is some level of a spreadsheet to pick one of your major, they're showing me 7 projects or 7 manifestations, and then just take the next step on the outlined list that you've made to move it forward. And if you just focus on moving each project forward the way that you are creatively inspired in the moment, so trusting as one of our dear subs said, your flow state. As you move the needle forward a little bit on each project is moving forward, and the energy etherically begins to feed in like a tube into you to give you energy to create, rather than it staying in the fantasy state, which demands your energy to it. Even if it's not real yet, you are feeding it, okay? You have a bunch of little fetuses up there and you are feeding them. So they're telling me, if you want to preserve your own personal energy, you need to reduce what you're feeding. This is the way it's coming through, you guys. I'm here for it. All right, so to reduce what you're feeding, where you're sending all of your creative current energetically, you need to begin to ground them, because once you ground them, this isn't a one-time thing, it's just like regularly grounding your manifestations, they begin to feed you. So they become, I was almost gonna say income generating, let's use that one too. They become energy generating manifestations, which also could be income generating manifestations, rather than invisible feeding tubes. And they're telling me there's nothing wrong with the invisible feeding tubes. There's a process of self-discovery, and there's a process of manifestation. There's a process of incubation. Now, what they're telling me is way too many of you, of us, myself included, tend to incubate too long. And when something is incubating too long, it starts to stink. That's how they just worded it to me, okay? Like, you guys, my spirit is very, funny with me. I'm like, what do you mean it starts to stink? It starts to stink. What does that mean? I don't know. I think it means, it starts to stink. It starts to grab our attention in ways that we don't want, because oh, okay, like fruit. They're showing me like an apple, like it's ripe. Okay, so for creative projects, for manifestations, they're ripe for a period of time. If you don't choose them and ground them when they're ripe, they continue to ripen. But anyone that has seen fruit ripen, it then starts to turn and then it goes rotten. So if you don't want your manifestations to rot, I don't even know what to talk about that. Like, that's like a whole, like, creative rot, energetic rot. I'll tap into that maybe in another video. We'll see. That's very interesting to me. I've never seen this information come through this way. They're telling me your manifestations can rot. And when they rot, they turn over to shadow, and then the shadow claims them. That makes more sense. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for the clarity. I've been wondering on some of that. So once the shadow gets a hold of the manifestation, it's like manifesting the opposite. Because now it's rotten. So what they're showing me is you guys have a lot of ripe fruit in your spiritual bodies. So a lot of ripe manifestations, a lot of realities that are ready to be had, like ready to be lived, ready to be moved forward. And again, the overwhelm would come from thinking you have to do everything all at once, and you don't. You just have to take the next step on a bunch of these different fruits that you've been manifesting. And okay, oh, I love this from them. They're like, the roots of the fruit have to be good roots. And I'm like, oh, I get it. You're right. Okay, so the roots of the fruit, what the roots that create, give me the words, please. When you ground a manifestation into reality, you give it roots, okay? Those roots are the stability from which that manifestation lives and thrives or not. They're actually showing me this is the most important part of the process, not to deny any other part of the process, but if you don't have stable roots, for a lot of creative energetic mass or energetic momentum that you've been building potentially for decades, nothing can be built on it. It will topple over, it will dissolve, it will not root properly. It needs to be rooted properly into this physical world. The rooting, okay, the proper roots are your emotional stability, all right? Your emotions create the roots. So if you are doing something out of panic or out of loss or out of scarcity, those are the roots. Even though it had a lot of spiritual mass, it's like big spiritual momentum on top of like shitty roots. Like, it's not gonna work out well for you. And now they're deconstructing the process for me, engineering energetics, why certain manifestations don't pan out well for us. I don't have concrete examples for you guys, so I hope you're tracking through. And I'm gonna ask now, just to set the intention that you guys will receive the transmission in the channel so that it can be unpacked for you through the week, through the month, with little ideas, insights, and inspirations for you to understand the message for whatever I can't explain mentally right now. But the roots have to be really secure. If they're not, gosh, I wish I had an example. If the roots aren't secure, the manifestation, they're showing me like a perpendicular situation. It's like saying you're gonna grow a tree. So this is so awkward. So you've got some roots and you're like expecting a tree to grow out. Okay, we'll use my stick. Roots, tree. But when your roots are from a place of like emotional negativity, emotional conflict, just conflict within your heart, I don't know, being mean to yourself. They're bringing it back to there. Okay, so what they said at the beginning of the stream is don't be mean. Don't be mean to yourself specifically is where they were going. When you're mean to yourself, which is not allowing yourself to have what you want. I'm getting hit over the head spiritually in like many different ways. That's what's happening right now. I'm being called out. Okay, when you have a desire, when you have a manifestation and you bring it into this world and you root it in thinking that you're not worthy of it, it's like the roots never grow down. It's like they grow, I don't know. This is so hard. They grow like sideways. And then where you would think there'd be a tree, it grows like a totally different direction. So that they're showing me these visuals, and I hope this is somewhat explained well, to the point where it can either be washed away by like a storm energetically, or it's just like not ideal for you to grow something you love. It can be swept up. It could be dug out. I don't know. They're just showing me like literally soil and how roots grow, and then how plants sprout out, and the conditions from which the plants sprout, which are your manifestations. And then there's obviously all the nurturing, right? The sunlight, the water, the speaking nice positive affirmations to it. Like, plants always grow better with love. So there are many different conditions that contribute, but they're saying specifically because we are in a planting phase, I suppose I'll say, we're taking the seeds from spirit that are ripe and bringing, they're not really seeds if I'm going to be honest, but they're showing me like pods, like seeds. So whatever, we'll take the analogy. You're putting them in the dirt, which is to take the next step and bring them into your physical reality. Now, the truth is, they want me to make clear this is not really a seeding period. They're showing me actually the seeds were planted a long time ago, and they've grown a lot of momentum, and they're big giant trees up like energetically. And that's like what big trees would be like, potential, right? So it's big potential, big momentum. Again, I'm going to use the term energetic mass. I just don't know if that's used popularly where people know what that is, but it's a mass of energy. And they were showing me planting seeds, but the truth is they're not seeds. They're actually fully ripe fruit ready to blossom, ready to sprout, ready to bring good things into your life. And they're saying that because they don't want you to think like, oh, I have to plant a seed and I have to wait and wait and wait. No, this shit's ripe, baby. They are coming in. So like plant your manifestations this week by taking one action step at a time. Make a long ongoing list of ongoing projects or manifestations, visualizations, realities, timelines, however you want to word it for yourself, so that you can begin to anchor that energetic mass into your reality before it rots, before you have stinky fruit, and before your shadow decides to take it over and make it into something real juicy. Just not the juicy you want, right? Like rotten fruit, then it's like spilling out juice. And ugh. Great fertilizer. For those of you alchemists, I think we're done with fertilizer. You know what? I don't need any more fertilizer. I'll vote for you guys. We don't need any more fertilizer. We've got plenty. We have some fruit that is beautiful. They just keep showing me these like super fucking ripe strawberries. Like, pull them, pick them, bring them into this earth, start planting your manifestations. And then do whatever work you feel necessary for you to believe that you can receive. To get out of the way of anything that says that you're not worthy of what you've been wanting or creating, desiring, and for you to understand that God's desires, your desires are God's desires. If a desire is planted within you, you are given the power to execute said desire. I also don't like the word execute, but that's what came through. Carry through. Whatever. Anyway, so you're given, if you're given the desire, you're given the power. If you're given the power, you'll be given the plan. And if you're given the plan, you're expected to move on it. There are consequences. They're showing me again, inaction is a decision. Passivity is a decision. It's a decision to not have something and to allow something else to make the decision for you to not have it. I don't know a more simple way of saying that. It's like they're showing me to not choose what you want, to not feel worthy of what you want, to not assume, again, those steps. You might want to rewind that after this video and re-listen to whatever I just channeled through. Like whatever those steps are to bring it in. I'm literally going in and out, losing my train of thought. Send her some clear mental thoughts. That's what I need, clear mental thoughts. That's probably what you need as well. I don't think I'm the only one on this ride. Clear mental thoughts. There's a lot of energy moving around you guys. Literally around you guys. Like, there's a lot of energy, and it's your energy. And it's carrying a lot of your personal spiritual momentum, which is almost like they're showing me they're causing huge distractions. I don't know what that looks like because it's more of an energetic process. It's almost like they're showing me these fruits, these pods, whatever you want to call them, these little stars up in your energy fields. They're showing them. This is so cute. They're showing them like a dragon egg, and like the dragon baby's like trying to hatch. It's like, get me out of here! Like, I need to be birthed now. It's time to get this on. Little dragon babies. So they're on the move. If you don't do something about it, they're gonna do something about it, and they don't want to rot. Some of these manifestations are carrying so much spiritual momentum that they won't let you sleep on them. Like, if you think you're going to sleep on it and snooze hit later, that manifestation is going to come and smack you in the face. Some of these manifestations are carrying a ton of intelligence, they're showing me, like a mind of their own, I'll say. They're like little children, okay? Like, I don't know what else to say. They're alive. They are forms of consciousness, and you've been feeding them. And now I also have the question of masculine versus feminine here, because obviously women have the womb space that's a little more oriented to something like this, but I think it's much more than both. I'm just personally curious, so hold on, I'm gonna ask them. The men's process is the same. The difference is how the project is created, how the manifestation is brought to life is different per gender. Interesting. All right, so tap into some of these dragon babies, bring them into your world and into your life, and if you don't, they're gonna start knocking at your door, which is actually a very thankful process. It's like, that's when something is grabbing your attention a lot, or you feel like you can't move forward without doing something about it. Like, you can no longer think of anything else or do anything else. Like, it's it. That's the time to give it attention, give it birth, whatever it is. They're showing me those that have an equal amount of momentum and don't get birthed. Can you explain that? They're showing me an image, but hold on, let's see. They start to go into a destruction phase, because energy is energy is energy. It can't be created, it can't be destroyed, it can only be transmuted, moved, changed form. So if you had a lot of energy sitting in something, and you chose to not activate it or bring it into this world, it begins a process of descension. So all that energy you deposited still is doing something. But because you didn't choose activation, it chooses deactivation, which doesn't just turn it the fuck off. Like, that's not what happens. They're showing me the process of something being light. The first dragon egg they showed me was like light. It was like a little baby dragon being like, get me out of here. Like, I want to have fun. I want to be part of this world, right? What they're showing me the process when it moves into descension, they're showing me a baby dragon egg. I don't know if the visual is going to do anything crazy. I'll talk you guys through it, but the feeling I'm getting is like terrible. They're showing me, it makes me want to cry. It's like the egg turns dark, quite literally, like purple and black. No ill to those colors, but that's what's being shown to me. It turns over to darkness. It turns over to shadow. Now, the thing that they want me to relay to you guys is that most of you guys don't know how shadow manifests. Most of you are totally unconscious about how your shadow manifests and how much momentum that shadow manifests. Once it turns, you have just about that much control. And they're showing you can control it, but most people don't, because they don't know how to do it constructively. But once the egg starts turning over to darkness, which is to move from a conscious creative project, we'll say, to an unconscious, unchosen, neglected manifestation, neglected project. And as you can imagine, neglect is not a happy player at your energy camp. Neglect is something that, depending on how you were raised and your multidimensional realities, like what energy you carry, how that neglect chooses to get your energy can be very damaging and very destructive. And now, just give me 1 sec. I'm just using discernment because they're sending examples through, but I don't like feeding into fear. So I'm asking them to transmute them and give me something different. They're not letting me avoid it, so I'll say it. Okay, so let me just check it one more time. It's where, hold on, what's that phrase? Oh my gosh, what's it called? Violent manifestations? It's where, not meaning violence, but like where it's violently fulfilled. That's the phrase, violently fulfilled, where it's like all of a sudden fulfilled in a way that you would never want it to be fulfilled. But it is fulfilled because it has to be. Oh, wow. They're showing me a lot about how karma works with this. Okay, so these could be things like car crashes. It's not to say all car crashes are like this. It's just like an example, like impact, crash and burn, bottoming out, burnout. Wow, thanks for all the clarity. I've been wondering about these things. They're showing me predators, like other people preying on you. It can show up in a lot of different ways. At some point, I'm gonna have to channel another video on this specifically because this is really interesting to me. This is like fascinating. So it's like how the shadow begins to manifest when a creative project is denied, when a manifestation is denied, when a dream, depending on how much power the dream carries, is denied. It then becomes neglected, and then it turns dark. And these are all just energies. Like we're speaking in energy, but this is the process of some of these energetics. Once it turns dark, it's not denied expression. You had just denied it the positive expression. So all of that power that you've been sending towards whatever that manifestation is, and I don't mean you as like you guys, like I'm just like using the general term, but it's like when you deny when you deny the expression, the positive creative expression, the expression is not denied, it's just no longer a positive creative expression. Now it's a dramatic, volatile, chaotic creative expression. There's nothing not creative about chaos. It's pretty fucking creative. It's just which expression will you allow your creations to take in your life. If you think about your creations like children, they're showing me a beautiful little angel, like, I don't know why I'm making that noise, but I am. And then they're showing me like a demon child, like with purple flames growing out of their head. Like, like, I don't know, like that's a whole thing. So it's like, which expression will you allow the vessels to take? A lot of that is a very unconscious, subconscious process of decision making. The law of one is saying that your attention through this channel and in general is going to be brought to making conscious decisions about your creative endeavors, whatever they may be, so that you can more actively choose a constructive, happy, fulfilling creative expression rooted in the authenticity of your emotional balance to bring invisible things that you've been feeding into physical, practical reality. And again, they're showing me when you do that, the switch flips. When they're in the fantasy realm, when they're just existing as possibility, they require feeding. So we have tubes. They're showing me literally tubes from like the solar plexus, the sacral, going up to each of these manifestations, and that we have dozens of them. But when they're grounded in the real world, when we bring them here and give them positive creative expression, the switch flips and they become the vessels that feed us energetically. So they actually restore our balance emotionally. It's almost like if you're dedicated to being emotionally balanced, making the decision, taking an action, that then the manifestations say, you're emotionally balanced, we'll give you more emotionally balanced. Here's more to be emotionally balanced about. There's nothing to be stressed about here. Like, you're good. And it's that entire process is a process of repetition, right? And there's a certain amount of time or grace that you're given in a really positive way in between each action, like each next step on each project. Next step, next step, next step. It's not about the fastest steps wins. It's about trusting in faith in your own spiritual awareness that when Spirit says it's time, you're going to know. So that you'll know if you're about to cross a line before something goes rotten rather than ripe. Like Spirit will be sounding alarm bells. And then they're showing me like there are contingency plans and contingency plans and contingency plans. Like Spirit's not like leaving you out in the dark or the dust. For something to turn rotten, you had to very actively deny it. And it takes just as much work as it does to actually just engage in whatever the manifestation is. There are different sorts of pain, there are different sorts of struggle, and there are different sorts of work. There's the pain of decay. I'm so fucking happy they're bringing this through this way. Okay, there's the pain of decay, and then there's the pain of growth. The pain is equal. You've got an equal pain threshold. You're not getting out of pain. Sorry, there's gonna be pain no matter what. Which expression would you like that pain to show up in? There's pain in expansion and pain in depletion. So ultimately, you got to choose which one do you prefer because you're not getting out of it. What else did you guys just send through on that? I saw another thread. When you're choosing a new reality, the reality chooses you. To then deny the reality that has chosen you already is to deny what is yours by divine right. To deny what is yours by divine right is to deny your birthright, your source, your own source within you, God. You're denying God. And it's not that God's going to be like bad. It's like, it's actually that source is, I won't say impartial, source is balanced. The law of one, you know, in order for me to be very active about divine will overriding my will, and I do my work with the law of one, I have to actively engage. Like, if I just like leave it up to the unconscious, the law of one is pretty impartial. They're just like, yeah, they'll figure it out. How many more signs were you gonna say? Oh, you're not gonna take action? Oh, you're not gonna do it? Oh. All right, send the next contingency plan. What happens if we pull the rug out from under you? What are you gonna do then? Huh? Like Spirit's not gonna let you off the hook. Spirit also is like impartial, meaning like Spirit's not like, oh, they have to have it this way. I'm gonna override their will so they can have it the most delightful way. You have to choose it. You have to continually choose it. And the thing that most people don't understand about manifesting is that it's not, it can be easy. Some things are easy, some things aren't. I'll save that part of the process for another video. But it's really, the more and more and more I shift and grow and change my identity and get everything I want from my life, it's because I'm willing to go through whatever the like, I don't want to call it emotional terror, but it can be. But that can be softened. It's really just the pain of growth. How willing are you to embrace growth? If you think about like children when they're growing, I mean, I don't remember physically how that felt, but I don't think it's a pleasant process. Like bones are growing. That shit hurts. Like, you know, like there's nothing like pleasant about the expansion. Of course we could always ask for it to be easeful, okay? Of course there are going to be easeful ways through. But it's really, there's always going to be pain. You know how, so the point is don't be in pain avoidance. Just know which pain you're evolving into. The way that they showed this to me a couple of weeks ago is they show me like how different people work through their transformation process, their personal alchemy. And they gave me the example of a pasta maker, which I love that they did because it infers even more play as opposed to this being a very serious process. Like that Spirit being like, it's always been play, you guys. So, all right, walk with me. You're the pasta. The pasta maker is spirit. Okay, the pasta maker, when you ask for a manifestation, when you ask for big life changes, big lifestyle changes, you're asking to become a different person. Because if you could have it now, you would have it now. So for you to ask for it this is what you're really saying. Oh, I want this big dream life. You're saying, would you mind throwing me as plain old like flour and water through a pasta maker and squeeze me until I can't be squeezed anymore, until I'm screaming and crying, and then push me out on the other side until I become my new form, which in this case is the freaking pasta? Like, I know people always love the butterfly example, which I do as well, anything that's cocooned, but the pasta really is like clutch spirit. But anyway, so like the butterfly or the caterpillar builds a cocoon around itself and then turns into a soup and then turns into a totally different fucking creature, like completely different. That process is the growth process. When we think about it like pasta, the reason why they keep using the pasta maker with me is because there's like a neck where you're being pushed through, and that's where the most amount of pain is. Like energetic pain is in the process of being pushed, squeezed through, and that squeeze is spirit. That is spirit saying like, should I get off the pot? Now's the time. This is moving through. Now, how we interpret that experience, how we feel that growth has everything to do with where our focus is in the process. So if all of your focus, which sometimes it is for me, and I got to shift my focus again, is on the squeeze, is on the, oh, I don't like, oh, there's so much pressure. I don't like this. This is so painful. Like, it's like, ugh, I hate it. Then you'll have an experience that is very outwardly painful, emotionally painful. Whereas you can release the idea of the pain and it becomes much easier by focusing your attention on what it is that you're becoming, what you're being made into. And though you'll still feel the sensation of the pressure from spirit for you to change and transform into something new in order for you to receive that which you've been asking for, in order for you to receive the lifestyle that you have been creating, when you focus on the new, the pain, it's almost like it dissolves. It's still present, but it's almost like spirit takes on the expression of the pain instead of you having to take it on. So you kind of just like focus on where you're going, who you're becoming, what the end result is. For those of you that follow like Neville Goddard, focusing on the outcome, on the end result. And then whatever happens in the process of you being squeezed through, becoming pasta, is what happens. Like, no attachment. Whatever the F happens in that process, just let it go. Like, it's like, whatever. Okay, if that's what you have me do, like, all right, if it feels like that, okay, but I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going. So it's like reestablishing your reference point from the pain of the squeeze to the excitement of the growth. And a lot of times, I gotta be honest, we shift our consciousness in between those different states. There's 3 states, right? There's a state of being one expression, one version of yourself, one identity. Then there's the state of the squeeze, where spirit is wringing you out. That's the energetic quantum transformational experience. Any of you that have done any mushrooms, ayahuasca, that's a lot of the spiritual work with those medicines, is they squeeze you energetically and literally transform your energetic DNA through that process. They're just showing me that that's that point of the process. And then you come out on the other side a completely new being. Like, you think you're still you. Maybe you have the same name, but like you're a whole new you. You got something else. You're something else. And that is really interesting too, because they're showing me like that's perplexing for other people around you, because you might still look the same, but energetically you've completely transformed. So then you move and you function in a very different way. And then people are like, wait, what? Who are they? Like, what? I don't know. That's where I'm being led. So that's the theme for the week. And by the theme, I mean a 64-minute, 65-minute channel around being kind to yourself, not being mean. That's what they meant. They were like, Don't be mean. And then they take me to a 65-minute channel about inner alchemy, being transformed into the real world right now. Right stinking now. Don't let your fruit rot, okay? I'm just going to check in and see if they've got anything else as well. Do you guys want to leave with anything? It's important to allow the process of being made to be an easy one. What do you guys want to say on that? It's easy by you releasing the idea that you could make anything happen yourself. If that's not God talking, like releasing the idea that you could control anything into being, you are releasing the idea that you can manipulate absolutely anything. The pain comes from the idea that you can control or manipulate, or that there are things for you to do, per se. Once you do the process they've described, there is a release. There is relief. Because then it's up to spirit fully to take over completely. Because there's nothing left for you to do. And that is the process of making it easy. All right, I'm going to pull some prayer cards. Apparently, I'm going to pull a lot of prayer cards. Okay, we need a lot of prayers. Pray up. Get your prayers. Oh my God, what is that freaking... They're sending me Monty Python. One of you needs to hear it or go see it. That is a reference for someone. Someone will hit me the messages later and be like, that one was for me. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I haven't seen that since I was like 14. Okay. Enjoy the manifestations, my loves. They're coming. Look, I pray to know how lucky I am. Spirit don't say you're lucky unless you're getting things. Lucky is a state of being. It is a state of awareness. It is a state of divine grace. It is literally complete gratitude for you being God's child. I pray to flow and have fun. Focus on the fun of the process. Focus on being in your inner flow state by being in emotional balance. I pray for an equal and compatible soulmate relationship. You guys have relationships coming. Those of you that are in relationships, that's being elevated. Those of you who are looking for them, they're coming in. This can also be soulmate family. This can be soulmate friendships. Bring all the soulmates. I pray to be made. There's another card in this deck that's I pray to be made in a safe and happy way. This is to pray for the conditions that would be required for you to make the decisions that you need to make in order to ground and manifest the reality and the future and the lifestyle that you want to create. And I pray to see clearly what is for me and what is not for me. So this is about just getting really clear on your decision-making process. If it's not for you, let it go. Don't try to waffle on it. Don't try to be in conflict about it. And when you pray to see what is for you and what's not for you, it's allowing source, grace to step in and allow the decisions to be easy for you, because what's not meant for you will just fall away or go away or dissolve. And what is for you will stay. It'll activate, and it'll be obvious. That's what I got. Okay. Thank you for joining me, you guys. I have endless love for you and for this channel, with me being like, I feel like a little bit of a pinball. So that's what I've got. If you enjoy my vibe and want to work with me, I will leave some links in the description below for you to check out. I also just started making some paintings. I got some people hit me up for those. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe I'll waltz over there and go grab them. I'm doing some custom channeled artwork for you guys. If you'd like, email me. I will leave my email in the description, link below, for commissioned paintings. You could do 12 by 12s. Those are 12 inch by 12 inch panels. I actually channel and paint and do light language, and I can ship them to you in the US, potentially internationally, depending on where you are at. And then if you're in Los Angeles, I've got, oh, you can't see it back there. I've got some bigger 24 by 24 or larger paintings. Okay, I'm gonna go grab them. You're welcome, you guys. I'm gonna look through your comments as well. And the Sacred Prayer Stack is coming soon. All the things. You guys, I have so many projects right now. I'm also really trying to get a podcast for you because I've already got like 15 people ready to go that want to be on it. And I'm like, I don't even have a name yet. Like we're here. I hope I am literally the permission slip for you to freaking just do it. Just do it. Okay. Anyway, here's a painting. So there's light, I embed them in, I channel them, and then there are several layers of acrylic paint that is also all channeled. What art's not channeled? But like, I channel with my channel. What else do I want to say about this? I love the exposed wood. I know you guys probably don't know that much about me with art, but exposed wood is my thing. I always paint on wood panels. They're my vibe. I've been doing it since I was young. And acrylics. And this is the other one. This is my show and tell. I am exhausted. So I feel like you've got a little inner child that's out right now. Like, look at my show and tell. Here are my paintings. Okay. I still have some work to get done tonight. And then I'm going to go to sleep. Oh, hi Lizzie. Thank you, sweetheart. I love that you love them. I'm going to be creating oh, sorry, my mic's not here. I'm going to be creating a lot more of them. I have a dear friend that's been haranguing me. God bless the people that really, really love us, by the way. Because, like, literally, like, she has been on my butt about painting. She was like, you don't get off the hook, Emelina. She's like... Whatever. It's like so good. It's so good. It's so good to have your feet held to the fire in like such a good way. Like she was like, you're not getting out of it. I know this represents a part of yourself that you're still working through, but do it. Publish. Get it out. I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. As always, you guys get the real deal with me. You get the real deal. So I'm being transparent and honest. Is there anything else I need to say? I don't know. Akashic Records training, you guys got that. Sacred Prayer Stack, you guys got that. I'll drop work with me, links below. Paintings, podcast. You guys, I'm so excited for the podcast. I got some Hollywood screenwriters coming on. I got some spiritual practitioners, shamans, psychics, incredible businesswomen. We're ready. It's gonna be a vibe. I'm really excited. Okay. I'm gonna glance at your comments and then we can all peace out here. I adore you guys. I also want to say, like, for real, like, I love that we do these like longer streams. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday with content, and it's literally like, it takes me almost the same amount of energy to do like an hour-long stream as it does for me to like think up, plan, and have to go through like 90-second content. I'm just like, just let me show up and talk. Lizzie, heard Let It Ride. Love and light, M. Thanks, girl. Let it ride. Yeah. That is such a good phrase. Oh, wait. I'm still learning this comments thing, like how they show them up. I can't always see them all. Hello, Hazel. Christine. Oh, yeah. We already caught that one. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Art of War. Welcome. Joe. Welcome. Laura. Hello. Sending all the love right back at all of you. I live in a van. I need to commission a little one. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. This insight happened yesterday. I'm gonna have a traveling set. Literally, that was on my mind. And you can make them like traveling altars. Right now, we just have the wood. There's nothing here. Like, I was gonna paint them today, and then I didn't have time. Maybe this week. Traveling sets are coming. Okay. Feel free to send me an email. I can make a little custom traveling one for you, or a traveling set, or a triptych. Lizzie, this is great. I'm so happy you mentioned that, because literally it was on my mind yesterday, and or maybe it was 2 days ago, and I stumbled into an art supply store, and I was like, hold on, these are like kind of perfect. Like I'm kind of vibing on it. Anyway, like my brain's going in like a million different tangents and trains of thought, but they're coming. Oh, perfect. Okay, I'll drop my email below as well, but it's wearewokeaf@gmail.com. It's in any of the descriptions on my videos. I have been so tongue-tied. I'd say I need to meditate and like breathe, but I already have. A lot. A lot. That's how I get through my days. Okay, Lizzie, I'm excited to chat with you about paintings. Those of you who are already chatting with me about them, it's gonna be fun. I'm so excited to get these out to you. And maybe to make some more stock ones as well, because I'm into them. So that's what I got. I have so much love for you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, your day. Whenever you see this, vibe with it, enjoy it. As always, take what you love, leave the rest. It's a collective message. And I will see you all soon. Okay, lots of love. Bye.